Welcome to On the Field, where the gridiron meets the grind. As you can see, we're on the 50-yard line where I bring you the hottest action going around the league. But first, let me give you a brief summary of what's going on. We're gonna dive into all the big stories. Anything going around the league that you probably already heard of, we're gonna talk about. 2, we're gonna give you everything Atlanta Falcons. But this week, summer week. We lost to the Saints. Yes. But anyways, number 3, we're also gonna be bringing you the under the radar stories, the stories that don't get a lot of traction, the stories that people aren't talking about, but I feel like somebody needs to say something about this. And 4, you already know we got flexing and fumbling, and that's where I picked 4 teams that I think are gonna win in the league. And we're gonna come back next week and see if I'm flexing or if I'm fumbling. And lastly, we have the Beast Mode Breakdown, where we showcase a player that is either gonna take a play and will their team to a win or change the trajectory of the game and showcase why they just a beast. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Micah Parsons. I know you've probably seen the video, but if you haven't, we're gonna play it for the viewers that haven't. Let's go ahead and run that clip.
What do you tell people who are wondering about whether Mike will be your coach next year?
You know, that's above my pay grade about if Mike is coaching again next year. But, you know, all coaching aside, coaching, you know, Mike can leave and go wherever he wants. But the guys, I kind of feel bad for guys like Zach Martin and guys who might be on their last year on their way out, you know, because that's who I wanted to hold the trophy for.
I never once threw or even intended to throw Mike McCarthy under the bus. Like I said, he's one of the most winningest coach. He is a Super Bowl champ. I never once brung up his past. And the question that was asked was about here in the Dallas Cowboys, did I see Mike McCarthy in our future? And I said, that's above my pay grade. So never once did I ever intended or wanted to reflect on Mike McCarthy's career because I always knew it was a good one. I've always had a great relationship with Mike McCarthy, and I never even put that in question. And for a guy like Rex Ryan, I just know he wanted to coach the Cowboys.
So now that you've seen the video, this is what I think about it. Like, I personally think that nothing was wrong with what Micah Parsons said. He wants to fight with the people that are putting helmets on. He wants to fight with the people that are right there on the sideline, you know, lacing up his cleats just like him. But he said he didn't throw Mike McCarthy under the bus, and he did. And it's unfortunate he didn't mean to. I mean, but you got to understand, if Mike McCarthy had control over this team, I don't think Micah Parsons would have a podcast going on during the season. Because yes, you're trying to do multiple things to bring in extra revenue, to do this or do that, but you're losing focus of the game. Because when you're sitting here saying, hey, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, how are you focused on football when you're doing all these other things? Secondly, the comment about Rex Ryan wanting to be the coach of the Cowboys, if Rex Ryan was the coach of the Cowboys, you wouldn't have a podcast. The defense would be running a lot better. Since Dan Quinn has left, like, I believe they're 24th in the league right now in defense. They can't stop the run. They can't run. Like, what can they do? So I think, you know, what he said about Mike McCarthy, you know, hey, it's above his pay grade whether he's here or he's not. It just showcases that he doesn't really respect Mike McCarthy as the head coach. When Dan Quinn was there was no podcast. The defense was doing well. Dan Quinn is a leader of men, hence why you can see what he's doing over there in Washington. But also, I think that he might feel some type of way because he hasn't got a contract yet. You know, you had CD get paid, and you had Dak get paid. And if I'm not mistaken, 46% of their salary cap in 2025 goes to CD and Dak. And I'm gonna pull up this graphic for you so you can see it. $126 million. That is roughly what you're paying 2 players. So imagine if you added in a third. Micah Parsons isn't no trash player. He's a really great edge rusher. So what I want you to understand is that 60% of your salary cap in 2025 is gonna be going to 3 players. That's not sustainable if you're trying to create a championship team. Look at how the Chiefs did their contract with Patrick Mahomes. They made him the highest paid player, but they also gave him the longest contract. His contract was 10 years. 10. So when you're looking at longevity and you're looking at trying to build a dynasty, you need to do it in a way that it doesn't affect the team. But enough about the Cowboys. Oh, actually, you know what? And more Cowboy news. Dak Prescott out for the season. Gone. And I want to play this clip of my boy James Jones and what he said.
It's a hamstring for a quarterback that's not explosive at the quarterback spot. They tried to hold me out. I said, who I'm running away from? I've been 4'5", 4'6". I'm going to stay 4'5", 4'6" with a bad hammy, so I'm going out here playing. Dak Prescott, with the way the season is going right now, we heard him on the sideline, what he said. Dak is quitting on these boys. You are not, is it off the bone or something? Because there's no way you're telling me that you're out 4 weeks with no answers, no nothing, no fight, no nothing for a hamstring, and you're a quarterback.
Now, since that clip, he's came out and apologized because he actually did notice that it was off the bone, you know, and that's why his season is over with. But he felt as though Dak Prescott was quitting on the team because hamstrings are something that you can come back through, you know, throughout the season. But he did apologize, and I respect him for that. But yeah, Dak Prescott gone for the rest of the season. Cooper Rush is the starter. Trey Lance actually got some burn in the Eagles game.
They're playing their best ball, and you know Kansas City just doesn't lose.
1st and 10 after the scramble by Lance. The lofts it, and he's intercepted.
But I personally want to see more of Trey Lance because this is a contract year for Trey Lance. You're going to have to pay this man $20+ million a year if you keep him. So you need to showcase what he has, get draft capital for him, and then trade him off to the biggest bidder. Because right now, you're telling me that Cooper Rush is who you guys want to roll with as your backup quarterback. So play Trey Lance. We know Cooper Rush is great, or whatever the case is. Play Trey Lance. Let him do well. Let him not do well, but at least see what you got. All right, and then other news. The Bears have fired Shane Waldron, offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears, obviously. And the thing that stood out to me is that he had 23 straight drives without a touchdown. Could that all be laid on the hands of Shane Waldron? No. Could that be laid at the hands of Caleb Williams trying to be too conservative? Could it be Keenan Allen isn't running the right routes? Rome Odunze isn't getting the burn that he needs. It could be a lot of things, but I don't think, teams need a scapegoat. So Shane Waldron happened to be the scapegoat of this team, but I think the problem is way more than just Shane. It's way more. We have a head coach problem. We have an ownership problem. We got a GM problem. The problems are all over the Chicago Bears because look, if you really look at this, it's a repeat of what happened with Justin Fields. Same thing happened. He didn't do well. The offensive coordinator got fired. Head coach gets fired. Then they're on the next offensive coordinator, the next head coach. You're learning 2 systems in 2 years. It's not sustainable for a quarterback to get good if he's always constantly trying to have to learn these new systems. Allow this quarterback to be him. You've seen what he did in college. Allow him to play the way he played in college. Write up script plays that allow him to, roll out to his left, roll out to his right, and make those crossbody throws that he's so good at. But yes, Shane Waldron is now a free agent for anybody to pick up. Hopefully, the man gets a job. We don't want to see anybody not get a job. So the Atlanta Falcons played last week, and unfortunately, we lost to the Saints. The Saints without Chris Olave. The Saints who just fired their head coach. The Saints who ain't even supposed to be the Saints, they're supposed to be the Saints. But we lost, 17-20. Watching the game, there was a plethora of reasons why we lost. You can blame it on Young Waku. I personally don't give him blame, but hey, he ain't supposed to go 1 for 3 or 1 for 4 from field goal range. Like, you know what I'm saying? You at least got to make 50%. You know what I'm saying? If you made 50%, we'd be in overtime. But what I noticed that I was hoping was not going to be the case, Kirk Cousins just can't get out that pocket, my boy. He can't. He's stuck. There was a play where Chase Young came around the edge.
They got to get a stop before
3 seconds. He had time to step up and move and skedaddle, and he didn't step up in the pocket. That just goes to show me that his decision making isn't where I think it needs to be for someone with his time in the league. I think he's been in the league 13, 14 years. So his cerebral should be way better to know, like, hey, I got a 2-second clock, I gotta move. If I have no pressure in the front from the D tackles, why am I not stepping up? That's one, that's the first thing I saw. Second, they gotta give that boy Tyler Algier the ball more, man. Run the ball down these players' throats, man. We have an O-line that loves to road grade people. I like to call it roadkill, because guess what? They be pancaking them, all right? So run the ball more, and maybe, just maybe, we'll win a little bit more. Kirk Cousins just didn't look comfortable with the play calling. I don't know if it was a Zach Robinson thing or just a Kirk Cousins thing, but I just really, honestly, I didn't like the game call today. So I'm gonna go through a couple plays in which there were some highlights that I wanna show you. Now I want you to watch this play right here with Kirk Cousins, okay? Now, what Kirk Cousins does is, it's 3rd and 10. He has a screen set up for the left-hand side, and all he goes and does is he pump fakes the screen, throws it over the top, and Drake London's supposed to come down with a first down. Now, what happens? He puts a little bit too much air under the ball. Drake London doesn't go up with 2 hands for the ball. He goes up with 1 hand thinking he's a Michael Jackson logo or Michael Jordan logo. And it just doesn't work out. He bobbles the ball and doesn't catch it in bounds, and it's 4th down, they got to punt. So watch this play. Put it in slow-mo. Where's the pump fake? Boom. Drake is supposed to bring this in. 2 hands, man. 2 hands. And he doesn't. Okay? Let's go on to the next play. Okay, now, I don't want to show too many of these misses, but one thing I do want to mention is that from last year to this year, Younghoe Koo has actually changed his kicking stance. He stands more straight line on the ball, so he kicks like this. So he said, essentially what it does is it takes down the time in which he has to kick. So if it took him 1.74 seconds last year, it takes him 1.33 seconds this year, which is good because now the defense doesn't have time to react. But what I've noticed is that the trajectory of the ball always curves to the left. It never goes to the right. He doesn't have the control that he used to have. So go back to your old kicking style and you'll be perfectly fine. That's that play. On to the next. It's 3rd and 5. We got man coverage across the board. Justin Simmons has Marquez Valdez-Scantling manned up in man coverage. And watch what he does.
5 touchdowns. On 3rd down here, Carr steps up.
Look at that. He lost the receiver. Mid-route. Reaching for air. So look, when I played football, I was taught when I played basketball, if you reach, I teach. That's what they told you. Now, on the football field, it's a little different. What you do is you want to get your hand on the body of a receiver. You don't want to just put your hand out for air, bro. You don't want to grab nothing. You want to feel something when you actually put your arm out. So when he goes to put his arm out and there's nothing there, what are you doing? Stop looking at the quarterback, turn around, and run through the back of the defender, the receiver. You can't sit here and say, oh, I'm a professional, but I don't feel nothing, so I'm gonna keep looking at the ball or the quarterback and think that I'm gonna make a play. You're not. Just play the receiver. You're a safety trying to play a receiver down the field. Just play through the receiver. You'll be perfectly fine. Look at it from this angle. I want to show you guys from a different angle. Look at that. All right, so he's running with him. Look at this. Grab an air. What are you doing? Boom, touchdown. Nothing to say about that. All right. Now, the next Marquez Valdez-Scantling, resurgence, because I don't know where this dude came from. They could have kept him on the Chiefs for all this. Like, he didn't need to come over here. But look, you got Clark Phillips playing him. And guess who's a culprit on this play again? Number 31, Justin Simmons, looking in the backfield at the quarterback again. Just stands flat-footed and watching somebody run by. You see your boy getting toasted. Are you gonna let him get toasted or you gonna go help? You know you got the deep and you just gonna let him get toasted? Bro, look at it. cooked. And he comes down for a slant route or a crossing route. That has nothing to do with the play. Come on, bruh. You're better than that. All right, 3rd and goal. Now, as you notice, a lot of these plays happen on 3rd down. So if we could have just got them off the field on 3rd down, we could have won. But look, 3rd and goal, 2nd quarter, 3 minutes, 51 seconds. You got A.J. Terrell manned up on, guess who? Marquez Valdez-Scantling again. You know what I'm saying? Now what's gonna happen? Jesse Bates is gonna come up, show like he's gonna blitz, and then he's gonna wait for the tight end to come out, but the tight end blocks. So he slides across and he's supposed to cover the middle because he has nothing else to cover. The tight end's there. He's either supposed to blitz in or just cover the middle. But because he has no man, he just lollygags. He doesn't really do too much. It's not an assignment for him to do. But guess who gets cooked? Number 24. The man that you paid $100-something million to. And you think that he's worth $100-something million, and he's been getting cooked all season. If I had to pull up the stats, I'm not even gonna tell you what the stats is. I'm gonna just put a nice little graphic right here for y'all to see how bad this boy's been getting cooked. But watch the play first. Look at that, boom. 2 seconds off the line, and he cooked in the back of the end zone. Can't even put a hand on the receiver. Didn't jam him off the line. You got 2 yards to go. You ain't press nobody. Why are you giving up free releases with 2 yards? Doesn't make sense. On to the next play. Okay? Now this is some good that I saw from the Falcons, okay? And this is gonna be the last thing I have to say about the Falcons. Bijan Robinson is the truth, okay? He is the truth. Buddy is sauce. Like, look at this. Boom, toss play. Okay, 1st and 10. Boom, cuts in, sees the hole. Boom, breaks the tackle. Get off me, stumbles. Oh yeah, Tyrod, nigga, I don't even got a stiff arm you. You're not strong enough. I'm getting off of that. So anyways, Bijan Robinson is the truth. The Falcons, y'all got a tough test coming up against the Denver Broncos. Them horses, they look like they trying to run through you. They gave the Chiefs a run for their money. We gave the Chiefs a run for their money. So this should be a really good game. Both games came down to 1 play. So we gonna see. All right, so as we move into our next segment, man, we got a couple little stories that you may have heard of or may not have heard of. This one's not so little, or maybe it is, but Joe Flacco benched. Anthony Richardson starting again. It seems as though the coach, Shane Steichen, or however you pronounce his last name, just doesn't know what to do. He keeps flip-flopping between the old vet and the new young guy who has no experience. And he doesn't know what he wants to do. He's trying to save his job. Just know the head coach of the Colts will be gone next season. Trevor Lawrence, out again for the 2nd week. So guess what? Another Mac Jones sighting. We shall see what he can do with a full 2 weeks worth of practice and not OTAs, but 2 weeks of practice, and see if he can come out and get a touchdown for his team. Now this one right here, this is little news, but it's great news for my white boys out there that love playing corner, all right? Cooper DeJean, if you don't know, now you know, is the highest graded corner in coverage across the league. And he plays for the Eagles. If you don't know who Cooper DeJean is, look him up, look at his tape. Buddy is playing great. The only other person I'll put next to him is Riley Moss from the Denver Broncos. He's playing a great game as well, but you also got to remember Patrick Surtain is over there locking stuff up over there with the Denver Broncos. In other news, for the Chiefs, I got two updates for the Chiefs. Isaiah Pacheco has been activated off of IR. All right? Now, this team has been pretty run-heavy with Kareem Hunt. What are they going to look like with this two-headed monster? Because Isaiah Pacheco runs hard, and Kareem Hunt runs through you. So what are you going to do? Just kidding. But no, for real, what are you going to do when you have to go against those two people? Huh? For real. All right, so Isaiah Pacheco activated off of IR. And in other news, Patrick Mahomes' house got broken into. Travis Kelce's house got broken into hours right afterwards. It seems as though the dark magic for the Chiefs is leading to people breaking into their house. Now, that's not big news, but I thought it was worthy of speaking on. Maybe if they lose a game, nobody will break into their house, all right? Reportedly, $20,000 was stolen, so, I mean, not too much to a big fish, but I mean, still, the security of your home, you know, you always want your players to be safe, and you always want people in the NFL to be safe. And speaking of the Chiefs, while we're on the Chiefs talking, they are 9-0. I thought that old buddy from the Broncos got paid to flop, but as you go back and you actually watch the game, they attacked that same dude every single kick. This was a scheme. This wasn't a flop. This wasn't luck. Everybody thinks it's luck. It wasn't luck. If you go back to the kick before, he gets flatlined, bruh. If you go back to the kick before, they don't even rush him. So it was a scheme to make them think like, okay, they're not gonna rush me. Oh, they are gonna rush me. Oh, they're not gonna rush me. So they showcased the same situation in which they didn't rush, and then they bull rushed buddy and blocked the kick. So, I mean, Chiefs is 9-0. It's looking like they potentially could go for a three-peat. DeAndre Hopkins posted a picture about the Chiefs and Mahomes and himself looking like Tom Brady and Randy Moss. And you know what? I respect the picture. I like it. You want to know why I like it? I love it, actually. I love it. You know what? Post it again. Because guess what happened at the end of the season? Some random old lowly-ass quarterback named Eli Manning came into their house in the Super Bowl and beat their ass. All right? And that's what I need to happen if the Chiefs do go to the Super Bowl. If they do try this three-peat. If they make it through the playoffs, you know, unscathed and have an undefeated season. I need that to happen. Need it. All right, we got bees on set. And last thing, nobody is talking about this team for some reason, but the Chargers have the best defense in the NFL. The San Diego Superchargers. I'm just playing. They're not called San Diego Superchargers no more. It's the LA Chargers. But the Chargers have the best defense in the NFL now. And guess who's second? The Broncos. Guess who's third? The Chiefs. That whole division is stacked besides the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad for the Raiders, man. They're going to have a long time before they're good again. But speaking of Raiders, I don't know if Antonio Pierce will be the head coach next season. But I do know that Bill Belichick is on the market. I do know that Tom Brady is part owner of the Raiders. I do know that Tom Brady trains Shedeur Sanders. Could you imagine Shedeur, Tom Brady, and Bill Belichick reuniting? Just food for thought, food for thought. Hey, it's the best time of the show. You know what goes down when I got this ball in my hand now. It's time for flexing or fumbling. Oh, snap. Oh, we don't want to do that. So right here, I got my 4 locks in my hand, and I'm going to read them off to y'all, all right? So we got the Dolphins versus the Raiders. Who do you think I got? We got them Dolphins. Come on, man. Next, we got Vikings versus the Titans. You know we got them Vikings on deck. Hey, look, the Bears versus the Packers. Lock it in, clock it in. I'm eating cheese tonight, all right? And lastly, we got the Jags and the Lions. We got them Lions. Come on, we ain't fumbling nothing, man. We scoring, we flexing. Those are my 4 locks. Make sure y'all stay tuned. Come back next week and tell me if I'm flexing or if I'm fumbling. Now, it's time for the funnest segment. Is funnest even a word? Or should it just be more fun? But regardless, it's time for Beast Mode Breakdown. And that's where I told you, if somebody just made a game-changing play, somebody willed their team to a win or got them out of a sticky situation, or just went straight beast mode. Look, like that, all right? So we're gonna start off number 5, Bengals versus the Ravens. Brown up the middle. Marlon Humphrey, whip that thing out of there. He didn't want it. He didn't want it. Look at the replay.
Play, and you can see they're ripping it out football. Great job by a 44 Humphrey.
Whip that thing. All right, let's go. What we got next? Number 4, Jalen Warren.
Drive is 7 minutes.
Second and 7.
Right now for Pittsburgh.
Running up. Broke the tackle. Don't make a touchdown.
Slashing.
No, he got stripped. Rip that thing out of there.
Keep those legs
Beast
turning
mode.
and take it into
Look
the
at the
end zone.
replay.
They're gonna as he was ripping it out. Where Warren's leg? Is he up or is he down? I think the ball's
Beast
working its
mode.
way.
What's number 3? Bring me number 3. All right, number 3, Daniel Jones, throwing up 37.
Quickly.
Who the is he?
It is intercepted.
Stole it from him. Beast mode. Who is that guy?
Well, this is the play they bring
Look at
pressure.
it. He said,
For me,
smack
Daniel
you on your
Jones has
head.
gotta take the
Grab that
throw
ball.
back behind. He's got
Take
a
it from
slant
you.
on the
Stay in
outside
bounds.
back behind it.
Turnover.
That's the only one that's going to.
Number 2. Now, this is the best catch I've seen all season next to Garrett Wilson. Look at that.
Pass. Looking. End zone.
The body control, my boy.
Climbs the ladder for the touchdown.
Bring me number 1. Because that was crazy. Bring me number 1.
Sprinting.
All right. Now I got to pause this one. I got to pause this one on y'all. Hold on. This man got shot mid-season in his chest. He is back on the field playing an NFL game.
Around this week, which was very exciting.
Just watch.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like pieces coming together. Here's Purdy.
Boom, across the middle. Beast mode. Oh, Antoine Winfield Jr. Get on me with the stiffy. Straight into the end zone. Shout out Ricky Pearsall, man. Hey, look. That's a story. That's a story. Got shot, came back, scored his first touchdown in the league, man. Shout out Ricky, man. Mr. Pearsall. And that is Beast Mode Breakdown. All right, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to episode 1 in the books. Hey, it's been a long time coming. It's been a blessing, but we here now. We ready to take over. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, share again, like again, comment, all that. Yeah, but one thing is one thing, I'm gonna tell you. Suit nice, but don't let it fool you, because I still school you. You know what I'm talking about? All day, every day. Come on.